Joining us today on Student Edge, you might remember him from his days back on Australian Idol in 2003. He had a hit track in These Kids. He's a beatboxer, singer, songwriter, instrumentalist, record producer. He's been nominated for 3 ARIAs and he's joining me today. He's got a new track, Mullet, featuring Macca the Rapper. It's Joel Turner.
Yeah, this is Joel Turner. Check this vinyl out.
Thanks for joining me today. The song is great. It's so funny and clever. But first of all, before we get into it, I want to ask you, the mullet's back and it's better than ever. And in your opinion, why?
Oh man, it's like it's just one of those haircuts that you've rather loved or hated. You know, it's copped so much crap over the years and controversy, and you know, we thought, and especially like, you know, in the 80s, like I remember going to a friend's place and like his childhood photos, the whole family had mullets. You know, it was like a really, like, even, and remember like John Farnham had his mullet. He's like, yeah, that boy's straight. Like everyone had mullets, you know. But you know, it's sort of come back as this. It's the haircut that just won't die, you know. So it's come back, and we thought it was a good time to bring the track out because we noticed like everyone from like kids to adults and celebrities and football players, and even the guy that ran for Australia in the Olympics, you know, he's cracking a mullet. So yeah, no, we were like, oh man, mullets are back. So we thought we'd write him an anthem to give us some representation, yeah.
Now, speaking of the song, so, you know, where did the inspiration come from for this? Where does the idea start?
Well, I was working with Macca the Rapper on this one, and we did this song together. I was kind of like the music guy, or the Dr. Dre on the song, you know, doing the music and stuff, and also did some singing and beatboxing on the track. But the raps and stuff, it was inspired by it was actually written from a couple of characters actually that we knew over the years. One of them being my Macca the Rapper's stepdad growing up. He had like a crank and mullet, and yeah, and it was kind of inspired by that, and a few other people like Uncle Stewie, and he was like, yeah, mate, with his mullet, you know, cranking a mullet. So yeah, a few kind of characters, but we got the character was kind of like a piss take at the stereotypes of mullets, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you get that Aussie yobbo guy, almost like Poiter from Full Frontal back in the day, Eric Banner, like, mate, it's me, Poiter. His cranking mullet. So yeah, it was kind of, the song was kind of like a piss take at the stereotypes of that type of character. Yeah.
There's a lot of humour throughout the track. You know, it's so funny. What role does kind of comedy play in your music, and, you know, kind of a comedy in music at large?
Yeah, like I think it's good for people to, like, it's good to have serious, heartfelt music, and, you know, and some people are political and others, you know, like, but I think it's also good to have some comedy as well. Like, I think sometimes we need to lighten up a bit. You know, there needs to be a good balance, you know. It can't just be all like serious all the time. So I think that comedy is another outlet for, it's another way for people to have like a moment of escape from work, or, you know, from their week or the stresses in life. Like, it's, you know, laughing's and it's one of those emotions that we have, you know, to find things funny and stuff like that. So we need it. Like, we need to have a good laugh. So especially after COVID and that, you know, it's just been, the last few years has been like really serious, and we thought a track like this would help just lighten it up a bit, you know. Yeah.
So I was watching the music video again just earlier. You know, it's so fun. There's a bunch of different scenes in it, characters. So you and Macca repping those shirts and the mullet wigs. What was filming that together like?
Oh man, it was hilarious. I just posted a video on my TikTok of the bloopers when we did the kind of Bohemian Rhapsody inspired bit where we're both in the dark looking with the mullets. It actually took us 42 takes to get that one take of the "I've got a mullet, people say to cut it," because we could see each other in the corner of our eye, and we just looked ridiculous, and we're in the dark. We're trying to film this like sort of serious scene and sing this opera part going, "I've got a mullet, People say the cutters, they don't know I love it, so I tell them to shove it. But we kept losing it. Like we couldn't keep a straight face. So man, we had so much fun filming the clip. The bloopers are up on the Instagram and TikTok, as well as the Facebook and YouTube. But yeah, no, it was really fun, and I had fun at also playing the over-the-top eccentric barber, and I got to play a cop in it that drags him out of the car. You know, it was cool. Like we kind of went for like a comedy, almost like Beastie Boys. You know how you see them in different outfits and stuff. Like we wanted that type of like, for the clip to have like a light-hearted sense of humor to it. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole clip, it was just so much fun filming it.
Yeah. So you got the chance to play at Mullet Fest in Dubbo recently. What was that experience like?
Yeah, that was cool, man. Like just to see all those mullets in one place. There was even like a dad with his little toddler that were dressed exactly the same with like cracked mullets. And I was like, oh, here we go. Like I'd never seen so many mullets in my life. It was like all the mullets just came together. It was like mullet power sort of thing, you know. It was it was cool. It was funny. We had a ball, man, and they were a good crowd too. They were like singing along to the song, going, "I've got a mullet, baby, short out the," and they were like waving their mullets, you know, short out the sides and wave it. So and that's what we wanted. Like we kind of wrote it as like a mullet anthem because, you know, mullets have made a comeback. It's like they've made a comeback as like another hairstyle that you can kind of pick. Where in the 80s, you know, like a lot of people and stars had mullets. Now it's like it's come back as this kind of almost punk rock, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Now, looking at your story a bit, Joel, you know, you rose to prominence in the early 2000s with some of those Australian Idol appearances, and then that huge release of music that you had after that. Now you've had this recent comeback. What's that experience been like?
Yeah, no, it's been cool. Like there's been some up and downs over the years. Like in 2017, I was actually late 2016. I was about to bring I was like working on new music and stuff, but my manager and close kind of mentor, Clifton White, or Cliff White for short, yeah, he passed away from pancreatic cancer, and that kind of hit me pretty hard. And then, you know, I had some other things happen, and I got quite big. Like I was about 125 kilos. I put on a lot of weight, and I was quite stressed out and stuff. And I was like, nah, you know, stuff this. I got to do something. So in 2020, I was 120 kilos. I kind of got the first 5 kilos off, but I was hovering around 120. And I started counting my calories and taking it serious, and I said, no, I've got to do this, you know. And I'm now down about 35 kilos. So I'm at like 90 kilos. I'm not obese anymore. And, you know, I'm back making music. I continued to do stuff live over the years, like performing as a live artist. And I featured on some tracks with people like Aislinn Sharp, who was on she came second on Australia's Got Talent a few years back. I did a song with her called The Wall. I also worked with Jimmy Z from Foreplay and the Wild FM compilation CDs and Nova and stuff like that. We were going good for a while, gigging. I also like got to perform on stage with Public Enemy. I got to beatbox for Flavor Flav and Chuck D. That was cool. Also, we did, you know, exhibit tour out here, Slaughterhouse. So many over the years. Like, got to open for D12 and stuff. Like, it was cool. Like, we managed to. I was still performing live over the years, but I kind of wanted to develop myself as an artist. And, you know, now I've got a few tracks in the bag. I've actually got another one after Mullet lined up. And there'll be more music coming. So, and man, it's just good to be back. It's good to have something out. And now, you know, when we came out, social media wasn't huge. Like we came out in the TV radio era. Like the internet was around, but I suppose now I'm getting around to really utilizing social media. You know, I've had a TikTok for about 2 months, and it's starting to fire off. And I'm up to like nearly 7,000 followers, and one of my videos has like 180,000 views. And so yeah, I'm starting to use the social media platforms more, and you know, because we're more in like a digital age now. So the model's different too from when we came out back then. Like it used to be radio and TV. Now it's like you got to have something viral. So, but I'm enjoying it, man. Like I'm enjoying the journey. I'm enjoying putting music out and gigging again, and the fans have had so much good stuff to say. Like, you know, you get your couple of trolls here and there, but for the most part, it's been good. It's been really responsive, and people have been like, "Oh man, your song 'These Kids' saved my life." You know, I was like, "Oh, thank you so much." Like, it feels really good to get those types of heartfelt responses from people, and to know that our music touched people in that way.
Can we see a comeback of beatboxing in the 2020s?
Oh, for sure, man. For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure. It's happening. And there's so many good beatboxers out there, especially in the beatbox community with the battles and stuff. But and I'm going to be bringing more music out with beatboxing in it as well. So for my fans out there. So man, yeah, beatboxing's back.
Well, we can't wait to see it. Joel, love the track. Love what you're doing right now. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks so much for having me, man. Peace.